Have you ever wondered if she truly knows how deeply you love her, even when the words don't come easy? Be honest with yourself. Most of us, especially men over 50, grew up in a world where love wasn't something we were taught to say. It was something we showed. We were raised to believe that real love meant showing up, working hard, doing what needed to be done, quietly, without fuss. And maybe that's still the kind of man you are today. You may not be the one who says, "I love you" out loud every night. Maybe the words feel awkward or heavy on your tongue, but that doesn't mean the love isn't there. It lives in your actions, in your habits, in the way you move through the world with her in mind. But here's the hard truth. If you've ever asked yourself, does she feel it? Then part of you already fears she might not. And that's where the pain creeps in. Because even though you protect her, even though you carry the weight, even though you stay when things get hard, something inside you wonders if it's enough, if she truly sees how much she means to you, and if not, what more can you do? This is where real relationship advice begins, not in grand gestures but in understanding how love is felt, in the quiet moments that most people overlook, in the kind of emotional connection that speaks louder than words ever could. And here's the part most men never hear. When you love a woman, your instincts shift, subtly, naturally. Psychology tells us that your mind and body begin to tune into her. You think of her comfort before your own. You protect her peace without realizing it. That's not weakness, it's love written into your very being. So stick with me, because in this video, we're going to uncover 4 powerful signs that show you love her, even if you never say it out loud. And number 3, it's the kind of truth most men carry without knowing it. Let's start with the first one. Sign number 1. You protect her, even when you don't mean to. Not all love looks like the movies. In fact, most of it doesn't. Real love isn't always about candlelight dinners or grand romantic speeches. Sometimes it's in the quietest places. It's in the text me when you get home. It's in the glance across the room when she's feeling overwhelmed. It's in the way you automatically place your body between hers and the traffic on a busy sidewalk. You don't think about it, you just do it. You scan the parking lot before she walks to the car. You make sure her car's got gas when the weather turns. You don't announce these things. You just show up again and again, and she may not always mention it, but trust me, she notices. This kind of love doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't pound its chest. It doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Because protection, when it's real, is rooted in something far deeper than ego. And here's the part most men overlook. Real protection isn't about trying to control her. It's not about assuming she can't take care of herself. It's about something quieter, stronger. It's about that deep primal instinct that kicks in when you love someone so much. You can't help but care for their well-being, sometimes even more than your own. Science backs this up. When a man is emotionally connected to a woman, his biology changes. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises. Testosterone shifts. His stress response becomes tuned not just to his own survival but to hers. He becomes alert to her discomfort, her stress, her joy. But this protection goes beyond just physical safety. The emotional protection you offer may be the most powerful sign of all. It's how you speak about her when she's not in the room. It's how you stand up for her, even when no one's looking. It's how you don't let careless words, sarcasm, or dismissiveness take root in your relationship. You protect her from stress by carrying a bit more of the load when life gets heavy. You protect her from doubt by reminding her of who she is, especially when she forgets. You even protect her from yourself by knowing your own triggers, keeping your pride in check, calming your voice when tension rises, and choosing kindness over dominance. That's not weakness. That's real strength. That's maturity. That's what a real relationship is built on. Because being a protector doesn't mean being a savior. It means being present, steady, someone she can lean on without fear of being judged, someone she can cry with, laugh with, trust. And maybe most of all, it means being the man who makes her feel safe enough to breathe. That's the love that lasts, the kind that doesn't need spotlights or applause. Just 2 people moving through the world with one protecting the heart of the other. Not because he has to, but because something in him couldn't imagine doing anything less. That's love. That's devotion. That's what separates a man who loves her from a man who's just there. Sign number 2. You listen to her, even when she's not speaking. Have you ever sat in silence with her and still understood exactly what she needed? Because here's the thing, real listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about feeling the meaning behind them. And if you find yourself noticing the pause in her voice, the shift in her energy, or the way she holds her breath before saying something hard, you're loving her in one of the deepest ways possible. Most men were raised to fix, to solve, to keep moving forward. So when a woman opens up about her worries, her day, her emotions, it can feel like foreign territory. But if you're the kind of man who stays, who listens not to reply but to understand, you're doing something extraordinary. Because that kind of presence, that's what makes her feel seen. You remember the little things she tells you, not because you made a note in your phone, but because they matter to you. You notice when something's off even when she says she's fine. You ask about her mother's appointment, the project she was nervous about, the friend who upset her because you were paying attention. And most men miss this, but she knows when you're listening. She can feel it in your eyes, in your body language, in whether your phone stays in your pocket. Listening is attention, and attention is love. You see, when a man truly listens, to a woman something shifts inside him too. He grows. Her stories become his understanding. Her emotions stretch his empathy. Her pain deepens his strength. Her joys expand his own. It's not always about saying the right thing. Sometimes love is just sitting there, fully present, when she doesn't even know what she needs yet. Because when she's carrying the weight of the world and you simply say, "I've got you, talk to me," that's when she feels safe. And when a woman feels safe with you, when she knows she doesn't have to carry it all alone, that's when she lets you in. That's when love deepens. So if you've ever caught yourself replaying something she said days later, if you've ever felt her silence louder than her words, if you care enough to want to understand, even when you don't have the answers, that's love, that's intimacy, that's connection. Sign number 3, you protect her emotionally, even when she's not watching. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever defended her when she wasn't in the room? Have you ever spoken up for her in a conversation where it would have been easier to stay silent? Maybe it was subtle. Someone made a dismissive comment about something she cares about, or questioned her judgment, or joked at her expense. And you felt it, that flicker inside you. That's love, that's loyalty, that's a man choosing to protect her, even when no one's watching. Because emotional protection is the kind of love that's quiet but fierce. It's how you preserve her dignity in front of others, how you make sure her name is safe in your mouth, whether she's beside you or 1,000 miles away. That's the kind of love that builds real trust. But let's take it a layer deeper. Do you protect her from yourself? Because here's the truth. Every man, every human being has shadows, frustrations, flaws, impulses we don't always understand. And when you truly love a woman, you become conscious of those things. You begin to take responsibility for them. You don't let your sharp words fly just because you're having a bad day. You don't let anger win because you had a rough week. You choose to protect her heart. Even from your own storms, that's not weakness, that's strength, that's character. It's not about being perfect. We all mess up. We all raise our voices when we shouldn't, get impatient, withdraw, or say things we regret. But the man who loves her, he comes back. He owns it. He repairs it. He refuses to let his love become a weapon. And that's something most men never talk about. It's not taught. It's rarely praised. But emotional protection, real emotional protection, is what makes her feel like home is wherever you are. She feels it when she can be herself, without fear of being judged or dismissed. When she doesn't have to explain why she's sensitive about certain things, because you already remember, because you care enough to remember. She feels it when you calm the room instead of add to the fire, when you hold space for her sadness instead of trying to fix it or brush it aside. When you say, "I'm sorry I didn't handle that well," and mean it, those moments, they're invisible to the outside world, but to her they're everything. And if you're doing that, protecting her emotions, standing up for her when it's inconvenient, softening your rough edges so she doesn't have to walk on eggshells, you're loving her in a way that few men ever do. That's rare. That's powerful. That's the kind of love that lasts. Sign number 4. You respect her in the deepest, quietest ways. Let's talk about something that doesn't always get the attention it deserves, but that matters more than almost anything else in a relationship. Respect. Because the truth is, you can't love a woman if you don't truly respect her. And I don't mean just being polite, I mean respect that runs deep. That shows up when no one's watching. That shows up when you disagree with her, when she challenges you, when she stands her ground. Real respect is knowing that she's not just someone you love, but someone you honor. It's when you listen to her opinion, even when it's different from your own. It's when you make room for her ideas, her dreams, and her boundaries, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it isn't. Let me ask you this. Do you ask her what she wants, even when you think you already know? Do you give her space to lead sometimes, to choose, to decide? Do you make her feel heard, not just in the big conversations, but in the little ones that most people overlook? If you do, that's love. That's maturity. That's partnership. Because respect isn't about agreement. It's about allowing her to be fully herself in your presence without fear of being diminished. It's about not using sarcasm as a shield, not brushing off her feelings with, "You're overreacting," not making her feel small to make yourself feel big. It's the way you pause before responding in frustration, the way you treat her body with tenderness, the way you protect her boundaries even when you wish they were different, the way you never make her feel like she has to earn your patience, your kindness, or your loyalty. And maybe most importantly, it's the way you show her again and again that she matters, that her thoughts matter, her needs matter, her existence matters. That's the kind of respect that makes a woman stay. Because here's the quiet truth most people miss. Respect is safety. When a woman feels respected, she relaxes, her guard comes down, her light shines a little brighter. She becomes more of herself, not because she changed, but because you made it safe to be real. That's how deep love grows, not in a flash, not with big declarations, but in the 1,000 small moments where she realizes, with this man, I can be fully me. And if you're giving her that, if your love creates space, not pressure, then you're loving her in one of the most powerful ways there is. So let's go back to that original question. Does she know you love her, even if you don't say it out loud? If you protect her, even in the smallest moments? If you listen not just to words, but to emotions? If you shield her heart, even from your own storms? If you treat her with unwavering respect, even when it's hard? Then the answer is yes, she feels it. She may not always have the words for it, but she knows deep down that your love is real. Not because of what you say, but because of how you show up. And that's what real men do. They love quietly, steadily, truly. If this message hit home for you, do me a favor. Give it a like. It helps this message reach more good men like you. And in the comments, I'd love to hear, what's one quiet way you show love? Let's remind the world what real connection looks like. Until next time, keep loving with strength, with grace, and with presence, because the world needs more men like you.